So here we are, we've just had a very exciting delivery. This is our latest batch of steels which forms our roof. We've got these guys here, which are the cranked ridge steels. We'll show you on the CGI where they sit. This one here cranks up to meet the main ridge steel that comes across, which we've now got in place. And then we've got this lower one here. Both of these flow out to the apex windows that we've got at the front. And just down here, we've got the steels that form the apex windows. And then this final section of steel here is a cranked beam which supports the ridge steel at the back. They've all been covered in red oxide paint to stop them from rusting. And we've got holes bolted in the side of these ridge steels so that we can sandwich timber in the middle, and then all of the joists will come into it, forming our roof shape. So very exciting knowing that we're going to have this all in place in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, here we are looking at the cladding that we've started to install on the building. This is called HD Clad Pro, and it's made by a company called Composite Prime. We've got the grey cedar colour here, which looks lovely when it's in place. We've got the corner trim coming down here, and this is what they call an F trim, so it's where we've got 2 sections joining onto each other. We've installed it vertical on this panel, and in other areas we will be doing it horizontal as well, so it comes across the side of the building. With this long section here coming up the gable, we're going to be doing it vertical as well, so there'll be some butt joints, but they'll look fine. Each area where it's open, as we've got above the French doors here, we've installed this metal insect trim which will stop any bees or wasps getting up and nesting in the void behind. Whenever you do vertical cladding, as we are here, you have to cross batten. So we have the vertical battens going up first, and then the horizontal ones come over. We need the horizontals to secret fix the vertical cladding, but you have to maintain a vapor area behind so that it can breathe. So first of all, we put this membrane on, which is a vapor membrane, but also this is for fire as well. So if any fire was to get behind, it won't be able to penetrate through this barrier into the building. Also, to comply with fire regulations, we install this intermittent strip coming across between the battens. Now this sits flat so that there's still breathability between the batten and the intermittent strip, but in the instance of fire, this will swell out 50 mil, so it will stop the fire from going ground floor up to first floor, so it will just contain it in that area. Now when we installed the battens underneath this balcony section, it was running slightly out, so we've installed some packers just to make sure that it's perfectly lined up to a spirit level. What you don't want is when you look at the line of the cladding on the ceiling here to run out with the cladding that's running vertically up to meet it. Now the beauty of this system is that everything is done with secret fixings. So we put clips onto the battens, and then the areas of cladding just slot onto those clips, so you don't see any fixing screws or clips at all when it's in place. So it's a really good product. We've used it before on previous developments, and we're excited to see it all come in place on this one. Welcome to apartment 3. This is one of our penthouses here, the apartment development. We've installed this temporary staircase just to make it easier to get from the entry level of the apartment up to the top floor. Obviously we'll have the proper staircase in due course, which will have a glass balustrade coming down, oak handrail. We'll leave this area underneath the staircase open so you can have a console table. Here we've got a nice cupboard which will have double doors on the front where you'll hang your coats, shoes. We'll rack that all out nicely. There's a really lovely sense of space in this apartment. And I'm pleased to say that this one has been reserved off plan. So we've got buyers lined up who are now working with us on their finishes to choose what colours they want the wall to be painted, organisation of the kitchen, what appliances they'd like. This room that I'm standing in now is going to be the ensuite. So we've got a lovely big picture window here, which will have frosted glass, that you'll be able to bring loads of light into the room. We'll have a walk-in shower here with a wet room floor, nice vanity unit and a wall-hung toilet. In this room we've got a walk-in dressing room. So we'll finish that with wardrobes and space for shoes, coats. And then into the big open plan lounge, living, dining area, where you can see we've got the posi joists up on the ceiling. These have been installed so that we can run the services through them. The electricians will run all of their cables across, and the same with the plumbers for their pipe work. You can see the metal framework that holds everything in place. This is holding the roof timbers coming across, but all of this will be covered in plasterboard. So when we've finished, even though we've got different levels here and in the lounge, it will all just run sequentially as one level ceiling. So a really lovely big space. You're standing in the kitchen now. We'll have a bank of units along here with the sink, maybe tall units along here with a fridge freezer, double oven, and then a central island coming down. And then behind me, you're seeing the terrace, which is accessed directly from the lounge area. So you can step out from here, views across the countryside. And then this area over here will be your dining table. Nice big window there. But equally, if the buyer chose to, they could switch them around. They could have that area with a media wall. This is a lounge. We've even shown it as an option where you can put stud walls across and create a self-contained office. So at this stage, there's plenty of options for the buyer to customise. Here we are in the loft void of Plot 4 in our Southland House project. We've installed attic trusses up here, which is excellent because it keeps this cross tie nice and high. So we've got the whole loft that we can use for storage and putting our plant up here, leaving more space in the storage cupboard downstairs. This tank will hold hot water, so it's our hot water cylinder. We've got pipe work coming out of here, which will go through this gable wall, meeting up with the air source heat pump, which sits on that flat roof. With it being an air source heat pump, the water inside the cylinder doesn't quite get hot enough to kill Legionnaire's disease. So once a week, we set the timer up here using the electric immersion heater to take the water above 70 degrees, just to make sure that it's kept safe. We've got the expansion vessel up here, and then we've got our pipe work, which has all been lagged, which runs down to the rest of the apartment, providing hot water to the bathrooms and into the kitchen. Over on this side, we're installing the Duco mechanical ventilation box. The other apartments have used the sky boxes, which sit up on the ceiling, but with the benefit of space up here, we can use this floor-mounted box. The galvanised pipe here will run up to this roof cowl that we've installed, bringing fresh air in. And then we've got another roof cowl on that side for the extract air. It's important to keep the cowls in different locations. What you don't want is to be taking out air from the kitchen that's got smells and then that getting pulled back in with the clean air, because otherwise it just defeats the whole object. So we've got all of the plant up here, but we've still got tons of space in this loft void, which is ideal for storage. So back here at our Southland House project, and we're installing the mechanical ventilation heat recovery system, MVHR. This is a system by Duco. I saw them at the installer show at the NEC recently, and we decided to go with their products because they're just really sleek looking when they're installed, nice and quiet, and the support from them has been excellent. So in the store cupboard here, we've got the main box, which has got the heat recovery system. So we bring fresh air from the outside into the building. That passes through a heat recovery unit as the air is exhausted from the building, taking air from bathrooms, kitchens, areas like that, passes through this heat exchanger. So the warm air from the inside shares its warmth with the cooler air from outside coming in, so that the fresh air coming into the building is ambient temperature. Now this Duco main control box has got filters inside it, which take out 99% of pollens and allergens that might come in from the outside. So it's really bringing in lovely clean air to the property. The beauty of this system is that it eliminates the needs for trickle vents in the windows. So it helps with the energy efficiency of the property, and it just maintains lovely clean air eliminating all of the smells and pollutants that you might find inside the property. We're going to show you around now where you can see the connectors that split it across the different pipes. And then we've got the 75mm pipes taking fresh air into all of the rooms and extracting air as well. These galvanised units that you see up on the ceiling are the sound dampers. So the fan inside the main unit obviously creates a little bit of noise, but then as they transfer through these sound dampers, that just gets completely lost and you don't hear any of the fan noise in each of the rooms. Each of the ceiling outlets has a control valve on it, so you can turn that fan up or down. There's a setting of 1 to 10, so that you can balance the system and have more fresh air coming into the lounge, or you can maybe turn it down a bit in the bedrooms if you wanted to.